Hello everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Matt, that's Shanti, and my beautiful wife Erica. We live full-time on the road in our converted school bus that we did ourselves. We get to raise our daughter in an atmosphere of peace and serenity and out of the noise of the normal world. And now we're making these videos to show you guys a little bit of our lives, maybe encourage you to do the same and get out there more and live life the way it was always meant to be. Sit back and enjoy our short documentary of our last week heading from Oklahoma to Colorado. Hey everybody, this is Dude.
Hey, this is stuff I stole from work.
Dude, Erica's cousin, he's a diesel mechanic and he works on big trucks, so he was glad to help us service the bus. He taught me a lot of things on how to service our bus on my own, and so just having the bus serviced really makes us feel a lot more confident on this long West Coast adventure that we're taking right now. All right, well, what are we doing today?
We are servicing this beast, and your fuel filters were nasty, so that's good. It's working. Okay.
Well, especially because the altitude. This is the highest the bus has ever climbed, you know, and we used to struggle on the Florida hills, let alone the Rockies. So it was really nice to know that at least the foundation of the engine is clean and kept and up to date and maintained.
And so we took off from Oklahoma and started heading towards Colorado really as fast as we could because it was just so hot.
I'm feeling pretty defeated right now. It is so hot here. We just pulled into Colorado.
I did my best to beef up our battery and solar system to try to run our AC unit, but it won't. The AC unit will run. We have a 3,500 watt inverter, but the AC pulls so much power. Everything just gets really hot in our battery bank, and it's pretty thick wires. Driving the bus during this heat is just as hot, and it just really sucks.
My thought was, whatever he has to do to help us as a family, that's what his focus was. Mine was getting her out of the bus, into some water, cool her off, at least move her legs around, get some fresh air. Campo seemed like a good spot, but honestly, it was so hot even outside of the bus there. Neither one of us wanted to stay.
Yeah.
I mean, we were going to park there and be like, okay, let's just figure out what's going on and then start tomorrow, but we just had to keep going. Well, then we actually lucked out.
We saw a guy pull up with his wife and kid, and he dropped his wife and daughter off talking to Emma, which is the mom's name. She told us about a location about 40 miles north of us called Two Buttes.
As soon as she told us about Two Buttes, the water that was there, the high rocks that protect the sun, the cool rocks that you can sit on, it was kind of a no-brainer that there was no way we were staying in Death Campo, Colorado.
The thought of jumping in the water, just sweating nonstop, was a definite, like, okay, we have to leave here and go. And so we made our way up there. We just immediately took off and started making our way up and stopped and got some fuel and got some supplies, and we headed out to Two Buttes Reservoir. And it's a big, massive area, free camping no matter where you're at. And so we went on these long dirt roads that brought us out there. And
They brought us to nowhere at first.
yes. Yeah.
Absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, we couldn't find the water hole that Emma was talking about. And so this day was just full of me trying to find acceptance. And because, you know, the AC wasn't working and I tried everything I could to make that work. The expectation of getting out to water, we couldn't find it. And but after I kind of calmed down a little bit, we ended up finding a really beautiful place to park that was on this wide open plain. And the wind was rushing through. It was really nice and cool. And it ended up being a really nice place to stay for the night.
Heart filled with worries, no more. In
although the day didn't quite go as expected, we're still at a beautiful spot. It's really nice and cool out here, and we have a beautiful daughter with a beautiful sunset who's just full of life and wants to play.
Okay, baby.
Out of the darkness.
So it was actually so nice. We debated on staying there another day, but I think the determination to find a body of water to jump into was higher on the list of priorities.
So the nice thing about having a vehicle that we pull behind us, one is just having the freedom of mobility, because the bus can be really hard to take places, especially when you're not sure what's beyond that road. We can just detach the tracker and go find a place to park. It's really convenient.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. The next morning we took the tracker. So the girls are gonna hang out in the bus, and I'm gonna go find another spot for us to go possibly park at the other night. Supposedly there's a bunch of water, beautiful swimming areas and things like that, but we just couldn't find it yesterday. I'm gonna go try to find this spot, and we have a better idea of where it is now, so I'm just gonna go check it out.
When I was young, I thought control would lead me to an ending road, and heavy metal seemed to be the only thing that was for me.
And I went up the road and found the spot and deemed it okay that the bus could get there. And so we load up the bus and
Deemed it okay. He was like a kid at Christmas. I found it.
yeah, I was really excited.
He's so excited. So we just, immediately loaded up and headed out.
Won't you be my guide and let me follow? Can I hold your hand for old time's sake? And all this time you waited for me. Little did we know, I guess it's fate.
So we get the bus there and we park right up onto the water. It was, looking out the front window and just seeing the water and the cliff sides was amazing.
Colorado cliff sides a lot of times are these stunning, like, copper rocks. They're just smooth and drop right into the water, and drop so much into the water that people jump off them. It was wonderful after what we had just endured, driving through what seemed like a forever heat wave.
Yeah. Yeah, and then actually Emma, Joe, and Jolene, the people who told us about the spot originally, came out and camped with us that weekend.
Yeah, they showed up, and although I'm not a super adrenaline junkie, I actually enjoy a little thrill. So Matt was jumping off the rocks like nothing, and I thought, I'm going to do this. And Emma said she's really nervous, but she would do it if I would. So we swam out there and climbed the rocks. And although I wanted to jump off the big one, she wanted to hold my hand and jump off the small one. So we agreed we'd all go off the middle one and hold hands. And Emma is such a doll, so she had a grip on my hand. So I thought, naturally, we'll hold hands, jump in, and go our ways for safety. So I jump away from her, and she did not let go of my hand. So Matt was brave and just dove in after us. But anyways, you can imagine if I jump away from her, but she has my hand, I end up doing a side thigh flop. But we all came up laughing, and it was definitely worth the high dive.
Yeah, so we enjoyed that night there and enjoyed the sunset, enjoyed just the atmosphere and hanging out. And we took off that next morning towards Pueblo, Colorado.
Close your eyes. Only thing that matters when I change, I will let you in.
So on iOverlander, we found a water spigot to fill the bus up at. It was free. One of the only reasons why we go to an actual campsite is to fill up on resources. We use an app called iOverlander. Many people watching this video probably heard about it. It's a great app. It's a community-based app, so anybody can post anything, anywhere. And so someone had posted a water spigot spot within Lamar, which is a city in Colorado, on our way up. So we fill it up there. It's really nice, and we kept going towards Pueblo, Colorado, with not really having any place to stay. So we make it to Pueblo, and immediately we hop on our bikes and go for a nice bike ride through kind of the main downtown area. It's really beautiful. Waterways going everywhere, and little playgrounds for Shanti to play around at. So we stopped at a frozen yogurt shop too, and Shanti had her first frozen yogurt ice cream cone. She was all about it. And later that night, we ended up, there's not a lot of free camping in Pueblo that we could find, so we ended up staying at Walmart the first night. Woke up and it was fine. Done that before. And then we headed to Pueblo Lake State Park.
Life is good.
Life is good.
Life is good.
1, 2, 3, go!
It's beautiful. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, we love staying by water, and it was about $40 at the end of the day to stay there. And we normally like finding free spots, but sometimes it's worth spending the money to stay in an amazing location like that. Super clean, nice fire pit, and we were right on this really beautiful vein of the lake.
Yeah.
So
So from the bus, it just sloped down into the little finger off the. Was it a reservoir or a lake?
Yeah.
So we had our own swimming hole right off the rocks again, which is our family's happy place. And the fire pit and the dinner outside. It was well worth the dollars spent there.
Cooking outside and cooking over a fireplace particularly is just one of my favorite things to do. I love busting out my cast iron and just putting some food in that and cooking for the family. Normally Erica does most of the cooking, but when there's a fireplace, I'm determined and I do it. And so we just got to enjoy a beautiful sunset, a beautiful fire, a great dinner, all just as a family. And Shanti, just like every time we're at a fire, chowed down on a lot of marshmallows.
Too many. Oh, I'm the stickler of the family for the sugar, but how do you deny a toddler with sticky fingers to have another marshmallow?
Yeah.
The deal is he has to put her to bed if he lets her have marshmallows.
All the walls of my become your way. All your pain will fade to memory one day.
So the next morning, we knew we had to leave because my mom was flying into Colorado Springs to come travel around with us for a couple weeks. So we packed up, left that park, and started making our way towards Colorado Springs.
Yeah. Next up, Mimi in the bus.
Sounds like Shanti needs us.
Cut.
So hey guys, we hope you enjoyed this video. And if you like this way of filming, let us know in the comments. If you would think that we could do something better, let us know too. We're feeling it out. And if you are inclined to, like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out and definitely encourages us to keep making videos like this.